Dolphins have been recording having a conversation just like two people. This comes from research in Feodosia, Russia, and researchers at the Karadag Nature Reserve recorded two Black Sea bottlenose dolphins called Yasha and Yana talking to each other in a pool. They found that each dolphin would listen to a sentence of pulses without interruption before replying. Very polite dolphins here. So the lead researcher says, quote, essentially, this exchange resembles a conversation between two people, and the pulses and the clicks that they can detect that are produced by the dolphins is different from another by its appearance in the time domain and by the set of spectral components in the frequency domain. So that is science-y, but basically they are each word and the syntax and the grammar is very complex. And in this regard, they say we can assume that each pulse represents a phenom of a word of the dolphin's spoken language. So this is very exciting for me because I'm a big fan of marine life and sea creatures in general. And we've known this for a while, that dolphins have even more complex brains than humans, and obviously they've been around for significantly longer. So
maybe I'm an idiot, but didn't we already think that they spoke to each other?
I'm not sure what's new here. But I think this is the first time that we've overheard a conversation, or we've been able to really scientifically detect a conversation where they are processing their words in a more complex way. So before it was basically like, I think some of the words that they'd identified before were things like, I'm here, where's the food? And where is everyone? But now from this conversation, we can assume that they were talking about something far more complex than just that.
Well, if they're in the what's that, Black Sea? Yeah.
Yes, two Black Sea bottlenose dolphins.
Social injustice in the Black Sea. So here's the thing.
We're about goddamn Putin.
Didn't from Finding Nemo and Zootopia, animals been talking to each other for a long time, from what I thought.
Kenny, that's very true.
It's not I mean, how do you assume that you have these school of fish that all travel together and they move together, and you have a male and a female? It's an animalistic trait that we all are from that mammal base, and we all come from that base, and it's kind of what.
But I think that what the research is saying with regards to this specifically is that they are communicating with each other with a purpose outside of just
So it's not like where whales make noise just for their sonar, or birds do it for territorial reasons. They're actually talking to each other.
Right.
Well, that's great.
They were like, I'm sick of this oil being put in our sea.
Yeah, they probably
talking about their problems.
This is how that Simpsons episode starts, right? Where they wind up taking over. Right? I, for one, welcome our new dolphin overlords.
Yeah. So anyway, as I was saying, what they were in 2007, Australian scientists identified specific whistles which were interpreted to mean "I'm here. Where is everyone?" I relate deeply to that sentiment. Hurry up, and there's food over here. So that's what we've known, but this is the first time where we have listened to a conversation without them interrupting each other. I think is very interesting, because that shows a high level of consciousness of respect outside of what we typically have associated with, I think, a lot of animals. Because we think of them as just purely, by and large, food-driven creatures, and this shows that they just want to talk and hang out.
So it was probably two male dolphins, you think? Because if it was a male and female, she would have been talking over him. She would have been cutting him off, talking over him.
Well, they were dolphin-splaining each other, actually.
They were well, they're Yasha and Yana, which are very gender-neutral names. I don't know. That could be either way.
Yeah.
But now it's fun to speculate.
No, it's interesting. And I mean, obviously, it's funny. This reminds me of, we were talking about Arrival. I just saw it at the Venice Film Festival. And that whole movie is about Amy Adams as a linguist trying to interpret these weird sort of shapes and things that the aliens who've come to Earth communicate through. And so I love the idea that someone is sitting down with what is basically a click track here and trying to figure out what does it mean? How does it correspond to their movement? What do they do after they say it or before they say it? What, so if we can actually break down what cetacean is as a language.
Yeah, and a thing in this article says, quote, is humans must take the first step to establish relationships with the first intelligent inhabitants of planet Earth by creating devices capable of overcoming the barriers that stand in the way of using languages and in the way of communications between dolphins and people. So that is sort of what they're looking to bridge the gap between. Like you were saying, we need to get to their level, essentially, to be able to communicate with them through language, which I think is something really awesome. I look forward to that taking place in my lifetime.
And in 10 years, I'm going to buy the Rosetta Stone. Dolphin edition.
There you go.
Yes, sign me up.
Just don't put it on your Samsung.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Young Turks membership is awesome.
Says who?
Me.
Please believe me.
Look, you guys make this show happen. We couldn't do it without you. tytnetwork.com/join.